Now, it's already been a few days since Street Fighter 6 has officially been released, and I've had a lot of anticipation for this game. I mean, just look at all the number of videos I've made just talking about it and questioning it. Pissed a lot of people off. I mean, I'm just asking questions, no biggie, right? But now that I've actually played it, is it any good? And I can honestly say, this game is pretty good. I haven't had this much fun on a fighting game in a long time, or any video game in general. I lost track of time while playing this. I forgot I even had work in the morning. Like, when that's happening with a game, you know it's a banger. So in this video, I just want to quickly go over some of the things I really enjoy about Street Fighter 6, but also go over some of the things I don't enjoy so much, or things that kind of rub me the wrong way, per se. So first things first, the character select theme is an absolute fucking banger. Before this game was released, I saw a lot of people saying the themes in this game were awful, terrible, and that they were absolute dog shit, but personally, I don't think they're too bad, especially the select theme. It gives me major Third Strike vibes. It's like a definitive edition version of that theme. It really matches the whole modern street vibe of Street Fighter. The theme makes me feel like I'm still playing a Street Fighter, thankfully, which was a question I was speculated by a ton of people because of the whole Fruity Fighter Woke Edition bullshit that's been going around, but I mean, that's a good thing, right? Another thing I really liked about Street Fighter 6, and I was praying that this mode was gonna be good because it's one of my favorites, and that mode is the arcade mode. If you know anything about Street Fighter 5, that game's arcade mode was fucking abysmal. I don't know what Capcom was thinking with that. There was no prologue, there was no epilogue. You were just thrown in there with whatever character you picked and fought through an 8-person ladder, which was dreadful because there was no like mid cutscenes or anything. So it just feels really long and drawn out. Only to get a comment strip at the end vaguely describing who the character you chose is and what they're pursuing in life. Absolute garbage, Capcom. You should be ashamed. But if you're lucky enough, you'll also get some pretty badass artwork at the end. There was no satisfaction in playing arcade mode in 5. Winning did not feel rewarding at all. Still baffles me how 4's was so good and how the next title later in 5 it's just so bad. There was no slow decline. It didn't slowly roll down a hill. It just jumped off a cliff. But with Street Fighter 6, it's a whole different story. The arcade mode I played first was with Ken, and holy moly was it insane. I won't spoil it for you, but I will say there was a prologue, there was an epilogue with dialogue. The bonus stages were fun as well, and once completed you get a crap ton of sick artwork, which was one of the only reasons why I played arcade mode in 5. And all this I feel makes the arcade mode so worth playing. I played with Ken, Cammy, and Zangief at the time of this recording, and I plan to play with every single character. Except for this idiot. Next thing is the World Tour is great. Another mode to make this game feel complete, not like SF5 and FEXL that felt like demos. Roaming freely and rising uppercutting anyone you don't see fit to walk is super fun. I know this mode isn't for everyone and I'm not too invested into its story myself, but it's a fun little feature to play when you're getting bored of arcade and ranked. Also, check out my character, isn't he fucking sick? That's Kier Ryan from King and Ashura, what you know about that? The Battle Hub is also a nice touch as well. They even have these little arcade machines in the back you could play retro Capcom games on, like Final Fight and Puzzle Fighter, which is a nice feature. Another small thing that I really like that I don't see a lot of people talking about is the enthusiasm in the fighters' voices. It's very noticeable. It's very noticeable in Juri and Cammy. I don't know what the fuck happened to my voice there. You can hear the clear difference from them in 6 and from their Street Fighter 5 counterparts.
This will end your suffering. Just give it up. Get ready! That felt good, didn't it? What a waste of time. Great stop! Acceleration! Finish! Here we go!
They sound way more charismatic in 6, and I really like that. It was one of the main reasons why I liked Lucia in 5. I really liked her voice acting, and now I can say the same for Cammy and Juri. Now, for some things I don't like about Street Fighter 6 is the gameplay, and to be more specific, the gameplay is super fucking slow. Now come on guys, I could be the only one who feels this way. I just feel stuck in the mud in ranked. I can't move as freely as I did in 5, 4, or even in Alpha. And I like to rush a lot in my fighting games, but in 6, I can't do that unless I want to lose. Now I know Street Fighter 6 is supposed to be user friendly, so a fast paced game isn't for the casual player. It's not friendly for the kids. So I understand it's just a bit annoying for me, and it's definitely going to take a lot of getting used to. A good example is with Cammy and Zangief. Cammy, who has always been a fast character, I mean look at her in 5, she'd rush you down with pressure, crazy character. She now feels about 90% slower than she did in 5. And Zangief, who was always a slow character, doesn't really feel that slow anymore. So now that I feel like speed isn't really a factor for Zangief anymore, don't get me wrong, he's still slow compared to DJ, but it's not as bad as it was in the past. Now that I feel like that isn't a problem for Zangief, he's going to be a super high tier character in this game. And as for Cammy, a character who specialized in speed and pressure, now that she doesn't have her speed to pressure, I feel like she's going to be a terrible pick in Street Fighter 6. The last thing I really don't like about this game is the drives. Holy shit, the fucking drives. They've been driving me insane, pun intended. I fought this scumbag jury who kept spamming that, and I couldn't stop it because this motherfucker somehow mastered the art of cheese with that shit already. The game's just been out. What the hell are you doing? Which isn't too much of a big deal. I feel like it's more of a personal problem. I could easily learn how to counter that. It shouldn't be too hard, but as of late, it's been terrorizing the fuck out of me. To conclude, Street Fighter 6 has been a blast for me as of late. Everything about this game has been fucking great. Not a lot of too much things to complain about other than its gameplay, but I'll get accustomed to it with time. And I'm so glad this game's doing well. I saw they had the most sales for any fighting game in the history. What else? They peaked 1 million live players. They said that on their Instagram. Thought that was pretty cool as well. Also, big shout out to everyone who's subscribed already. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, and it's still fucking unreal to me. To hit the milestone I set out for myself from the start, it's crazy. It's been the Master Assailant, and I hope to catch you in the next one.